Gil Martin here, and welcome everybody to the Daily Packers Post, where we give you in-depth daily coverage of your Green Bay Packers. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode. We give you in-depth daily coverage of the Green Bay Packers, and check out our website at thepackerspost.com. We continue our coverage of this Sunday's big wild card playoff game against the Philadelphia Eagles. And one challenge that the Packers are going to have in this game is what we wanted to highlight today. And that is that without Jaire Alexander, the Packers' best coverage corner, and granted, Alexander really only played 6 full games and 10 plays of another all season. So they've been going without Jaire for a while, but they're going to have the challenge of covering DeVonta Smith and A.J. Brown, two really talented wide receivers that pose problems for opposing defense. And look, both of these guys missed 4 games each. Smith had 68 catches for 833 yards and 8 touchdowns. Brown, 67 catches for 1,079 yards and 7 touchdowns. So, Smith had one more catch and one more touchdown. Brown had more yards, average a little over 16 yards a catch. So, again, these two guys are both comparable. Now, here's sort of the catch. Both of these players, the Eagles prefer to throw the ball to them on the perimeter. They are much, much more likely to be outside the numbers and outside the hash marks than to go over the middle and make those plays. They have, slot receiver and a tight end to do that. What does that mean, though, for the Green Bay Packers? It means that the duo of Carrington, Valentine, and Keisean, Nixon are going to have the primary responsibility of matching up with Smith and Brown. And keep in mind, I do not expect Smith and Brown to be held without a catch or, the final numbers for either one of them to be, 2 catches for 12 yards on 5 targets. I don't think that's what we're looking at. Even if Jaire was healthy and ready to go, I don't think that would be what I would expect on Sunday. But the key is this: don't let these guys beat you. The Eagles have so many ways to beat you, whether it is Saquon Barkley, who can both run and catch the ball, whether it is Jalen Hurts, who, when healthy, can both throw and run the football. There are a lot of weapons. So you got the feeling that Smith and Brown are going to get their catches at some point in the game. The key is to not let them make splash plays, to convert key third downs, and to, make some back-breaking plays down the field. Now, Valentine is sort of the wild card in all this. He is a little bit bigger than Keisean Nixon, less experienced, though, and Valentine has really sort of taken a bigger role over the last 4 games. He's played in 90% or more of the team's defensive snaps in those 4 games. He has emerged ahead of Eric Stokes on the depth chart. Early on, when Alexander was out, Stokes and Valentine were kind of alternating. Now it's more the Carrington Valentine show. And over the last 4 games, I have to say that Valentine has really stepped up his game. He has the first 2 interceptions of his NFL career in the last 4 games, broke up 3 passes, and forced 2 fumbles. The numbers speak for themselves. And he's still young. He's a 7th-round pick a year ago out of Kentucky. But he seems to be learning. He seems to be adapting to a larger role. And the thing I like about Valentine, he likes to be physical off the snap of the football. And, getting in the grill of Smith and Brown and getting them off their routes is a really wise way to try to attack these guys. A lot of it is timing, and hopefully you can get their timing and their rhythm off, and Valentine is very good at doing just that. Then you have Keisean Nixon, and Nixon is going to be tested. I think in a way, Keisean Nixon has been tested all year, and he's sort of been one of the Packers' unheralded defensive heroes. I'm not saying he's a Pro Bowl cornerback, not by any stretch of the imagination. And he does tend to be inconsistent. He'll come up with some really big plays at times and then get beat badly and make you really frustrated at others. But this year, the good plays have really outweighed the bad plays. Opposing quarterbacks completing just 57.5% of their passes when throwing to receivers, covered by Nixon, according to ProFootballReference.com, and their quarterback rating is just 78.9. Those are really solid numbers. And the thing I love about Nixon, first of all, his attitude. I like the brashness, the confidence, the I want to be the guy type of attitude. It is always necessary, especially in a cornerback in the league in this day and age where the rules so much favor the offense. But the other thing is this: Nixon gives you versatility. Nixon started the season as the Packers' slot corner. When injuries hit at different times, and, Jair being the biggest one and the most frequent one, he moved to the outside. And I think he's been better on the perimeter over the course of the season than he was in the slot. And the fact that Javon Bullard has been able to come in and take over that slot spot, and the fact that Bullard was back in the lineup last week, both of those things bode well. And the Packers are expected to get Evan Williams back, hopefully, for this game. So if you have McKinney, Williams, Bullard, and then, you've got Valentine and Nixon on the perimeter, these are the guys that are going to be used and out there to try to slow down the very dangerous outside passing attack of the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's see if the Packers are going to be equal to the task. And again, to me, it's more a game of contain than it is a game of shutdown. The Philadelphia offense has a lot of different ways to beat you. They've even got a really solid tight end who can do some damage. Having Edgerrin Cooper available is going to help in that respect. And I think Cooper will also help the Packers to be a spy and kind of shadow Jalen Hurts to prevent him from running. Now, Hurts coming off a concussion, missed 3 weeks, probably going to be a little more hesitant than normal to take off and run with the football, maybe a little more eager than normal to slide and be a little more cautious. That plus a little bit of rust could work in the Packers' favor. And again, when I mentioned Carrington Valentine likes to be physical off the snap of the ball, getting the timing off, especially when you have a quarterback with a little bit of rust who hasn't played in 3 weeks, that's a good thing. So if the Packers can get the job done in the secondary against these two dangerous receivers, then you got to shut down Saquon Barkley. And let's face it, and we're going to discuss this more tomorrow, but it's strength against strength because the Packers' run defense has been really, really good all season. And the Eagles' run offense, Barkley gained over 2,000 yards this year and sat out the season finale. So, there's just a lot of great matchups to be broken down. And tomorrow we will break down the 6 key matchups in this game and try to prepare you more for Packers-Eagles on Sunday. I'm Gil Martin. We're here every day on The Packers Post, and also check out thepackerspost.com. Don't forget to hit like and to our subscribe button so you get new episodes as soon as they come out. Have a great day, everybody. Looking forward to the playoff game coming up on Sunday. And go, Pack, go.